Let's get more on the Ryder Cup, which is the jewel in our crown this weekend. Great to see you. I get to talk to you once every 2 years, so I'm going to enjoy this. How do you think the American team is shaping up as we head towards the event?
Well, I think we have a very strong team if you look at it. If you go on world ranking positions, you would say that the Americans have the most powerful team. Myself, I don't look at it that way. I look more at Ryder Cup experience, and the European team has so much more experience on their team than the American team. Justin Thomas is the elder statesman on the U.S. team. He's only played in 4 Ryder Cups. You look at Rory and Rose, they played in 8 and 7. You got Tommy, Rahm, Fitz, Hatton, they've all played in 4. So for me, I think the experience factor goes to the European team. Having said that, we know how hard it is to win on the other opposing team's soil, but Europe has proved they can do that. Way back in '87 at Nicklaus's course in Muirfield, they won. In 2012 at Oak Hill, and the greatest comeback of all time in 2012 at Medina. So there is proof that it can be done, and I know the European team really feels like they can. Americans have a very strong team, but I kind of like the European team as far as the fact that they've got more guys with Ryder Cup experience.
Oh, I like to hear that, Butch. Have the Americans put themselves under more pressure by getting paid this time?
Well, that really is upsetting to me. You touched a note with me that I'm not very proud of. I think when you play for your country, the money's immaterial. Yes, I know most of this money is going to go to charity, but I didn't see the need for that. And I like the fact that Luke Donald presented that to his team, and they said, absolutely not. We're playing for Europe, and that's the most important thing. And I think, Mike, if you look at it, that could be the difference in the two teams. I think that the European squads have always been a really good team. They have got their players able to check their egos at the door and let's be a team. As we know, the Americans are a bunch of individuals, and a lot of times that hasn't worked out for them. So I think that's another thing that's in Europe's favor. The big negative for Europe is going to be the New York crowd, because they are loud and they are rowdy, and boy, believe me, they have come to make noise.
I bet they have. Who do you see as the American power pairings then for these 3 days?
Well, anybody you put with Scottie Scheffler, I think is going to be good. If I was Captain Bradley, I would put one of the rookies with him, Russell Henley, right out of the box. Right, and the foursomes play the first day. Henley is a good player. He's played with him before in President's Cup, so I think that's a very, very good pairing for the Americans right out of the box the first day.
What about the course? Is it as hard as we're all led to believe?
Well, it's not as hard as when the U.S. Open was here because the rough is very minimal. They have cut the rough down, so the rough isn't going to be a factor like it normally would. It is an extremely hard golf course. There is no doubt about that. But this isn't a medal play tournament. And this is where I say people look at world rankings and they see the U.S. team has 7 of the top players on the world ranking, where the European team only has 3 of the top 10. You can throw that out because those are medal play events. This is match play. Your score doesn't really matter. You got to win a hole or lose a hole, and that's what it's all about.
Butch, you've already said this once, but I've got to get you to say it again. Who do you fancy for this weekend?
Well, I think it's hard to pick, to be honest with you. As an American, I'm always going to root for the American team, but I'm very unbiased when I'm doing TV at Sky, as you know, from the 13 Ryder Cups that I've done. I actually think the Americans are favored only because it's played in New York. Myself, I think Europe has a better team, so I give them a slight advantage.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. Butch, great pleasure to speak to you. Enjoy the Ryder Cup.
Oh, I certainly will. And let's have a good one. Let's make it all about golf and not about what goes on in the gallery.